Michael Saylor's infinite money glitch is spreading like the plague, folks, and I'm going to expose how many companies are going to start implementing this strategy and why one of the newest companies could be changing the game for all companies in one of the largest regions in the world. Of course, I'm talking about the Brazilian fintech that shocked the world yesterday by announcing that they're going to be and adopting this Bitcoin strategy. So it's with the symbol cash, like straight cash, homie. They've been saying that they're going to allocate 10% of their cash reserves to Bitcoin. Now, just how drastic is this move? Because we've got Brazil, right? Oh, Brazil, it's a tiny little country. Not so fast, my friend. Brazil is the ninth largest country when it comes to GDP, although it's not known necessarily as a huge giant. It's not a company that is listed on the NASDAQ, for example. It's a company listed on the Brazilian stock exchange, which is about 5% of the stock exchange of the United States, aka the NASDAQ. But this is the first publicly traded company with a 50 million market cap known as cash that will invest 10% of its cash starting today with a $4 million purchase into Bitcoin. Now, the unique aspect of this is that we've seen a lot of things come out here in the recent days. One of those things has been BlackRock saying, hey, allocate 1 to 2% of your actual portfolio into Bitcoin. Well, what did this company do? They didn't allocate just 1 to 2%, folks. They allocated 10 right off the bat. Now, that is extremely, extremely bullish here going forward, especially with the way that Bitcoin has been trending here lately, right? We've been kind of in this stagnant market, but we're seeing rumors flying saying, hey, Bitcoin has topped. Beware of crypto copycats here, right? Beware, watch out. These things might not be the best for you to invest in. Well, what has been going on here lately? We've been seeing a bunch of publicly traded companies start to come out and adopt Bitcoin as a Bitcoin standard, have it on there. Most notably, Dylan LeClaire and MetaPlanet have been completely revolutionizing the game here by implementing it at MetaPlanet. Now, look, Michael Saylor took notice and you should probably follow MetaPlanet. Wow, look at what happens when they implemented this Bitcoin strategy. Happened right around here. Stock absolutely rips, skyrockets, in fact. Now, a lot of these companies are seeing that happen. They're seeing Bitcoin as a potential to help save their company. Now, what is all these headlines? Why are the negative headlines coming out right now, right? Because Bitcoin's value prop is stronger than ever, but beware of middlemen and copycat investments like Dogecoin and MicroStrategy. It's funny, they're grouping Dogecoin, a meme coin, in with MicroStrategy at this point. Bitcoin's price has surged. Bitcoin's price surge is driven by reduced supply and increased demand, plus potential government adoption, giving it continued long-term upside. Well, duh. That's the game theory playing out here, folks. We're going to see more and more companies implement Bitcoin as a strategy. But what is unique about what is going on right now? Well, we have MicroStrategy for the first time ever able to use these Bitcoin gains as part of their overall gains. So what are we going to see come the end of quarter one in sometime mid-April when MicroStrategy, now Strategy, discusses their earnings? We're going to see Strategy report a positive earnings for the first time in 4 years, folks. They've been losing money to buy Bitcoin now for 4 years at a time, and they haven't been able to report that on their quarterly earnings. Sure, the people have known, okay, they're gaining money in terms of fiat terms when it comes to the Bitcoin price and everything along those lines. But this is going to be the first quarter that they're going to implement that they're going to see, and traditional finance is finally potentially going to take notice, right? We've seen MicroStrategy and others now start to look at the rise, look at the attention, look at all these different things. In fact, we've seen Metaplanet look at a lot of different things here as well, right? We're seeing the daily rise in Metaplanet's trading volume absolutely skyrocket as well. And we're seeing things like, oh, well, year to date, MicroStrategy is only up 1.3%. But let's look in this 5 years. MicroStrategy up 2,000%, right? MicroStrategy gets traded more in top 10 in equities, and it's like 210th in market cap. Why does that happen? Well, it's because of the leverage play that it allows people and investors to get on Bitcoin. So it makes a lot of sense that we see MicroStrategy start to see a bunch of these different copycats come along, right? We're not exactly shocked at what we're seeing here, right? We're seeing companies like Metaplanet, Semlar Scientific, now this I'm not even going to pronounce this name here, but the ticker symbol of cash in Brazil, looking at becoming one of the top companies in Brazil, right? So we see Metaplanet continue to raise a bunch of money to buy more Bitcoin. We get headlines like this. This stock surged 38% after copying MicroStrategy's Bitcoin. This was from May 28th, 2024. What happened there? Oh, Semlar Scientific, a little known medical company trading on the NASDAQ, surged 38%. It kicked off its plans with a $40 million purchase. Look, it's a smaller scale. We saw them purchase at a 10%. But what do we have here Friday? We've got big things coming here Friday with MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor and the White House Crypto Summit. Is this looking like a buy or sell? It's the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin. Therefore, the stock's price often moves with the price of cryptocurrency. So, with the newest endorsement of President Trump, a digital asset summit occurring this week, is strategy a buy or sell? Come on. We know this game, right? We've seen this all too many times, right? The speculation here. But let's look at it, right? I mean, we're seeing a lot of speculation of strategy, the Michael Saylor effect. Is strategy a buy or sell? We're seeing Bitcoin crab walk along here. What are we doing? Is MicroStrategy a buy or sell because Bitcoin price is not just absolutely ripping? I mean, it's like we play the same song and dance with all of these things here, folks. But it's interesting, right? It's a little thought experiment. What is going on here? Will this be a buy or sell? Where you say the stock price mirrors Bitcoin. It's a leverage play. Over the past 4 years, strategy stock has an average premium of 54% on Bitcoin, meaning when it goes up, strategy also skyrockets here, right? So I think that it's absolutely a big play when you see more and more corporations that have cash literally just sitting on the sidelines. And this cash, we know as Bitcoiners, this cash, the Fed tells you it's going to sit on the sidelines and it's going to lose 3% is the goal every single year. You know, they tell you, or 2% is the goal, excuse me. They tell you that they want to inflate your currency away by 2%. So if you get a premium of 58% on all of this, right, you get the CAGR rising up of 40 to 50% every single year with Bitcoin on the strategy. I mean, look at the facts here, folks. This is all that has happened since strategy, formerly known as MicroStrategy, has implemented this Bitcoin policy. August, they made an initial investment, 21,000 Bitcoin, 21.5 thousand for about 250 million. Then they continued. They continued to buy this entire time through the ups, through the downs. By July 2023, their Bitcoin average price was 30 grand. What do we have Bitcoin sitting at right now? Basically 3x return here at 89, almost 90. So, I mean, like people see this and they see the amount of publicity that MicroStrategy, now Strategy, and you guys are all going to kill me in the comments about that, that Strategy has now implemented and say, okay, I'm listening now. What is going on here? Right? What is all of this hubbub about? Why are the number of publicly traded companies holding Bitcoin continuing to increase on a weekly basis? In fact, I did a video on this. I looked a couple months ago. There were 73 publicly traded companies. Guess how many there are now, folks? There's 91 different publicly traded companies, and the quarter isn't even over yet. So that's an addition of 18 more companies. And that's publicly traded. We have no idea the amount of privately owned companies that are putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Zero clue right now. Just the ones that make it publicly known. So we have 91 other publicly traded companies all over the globe. We have China. We have wherever this is. I don't know the hex. Let's see. Where is this company at here? Boya International, Interactive International. Maybe Hong Kong, I think that is. Look, I'm not great with flags here, but looks like this this looks like the Costa Rican flag right here. Look, we've got companies all over the globe now starting to put it. We got Argentina. Look at this, Millet. That's interesting. Maybe we'll have to dive into that here after what we saw with Libra token. But we've got another one that just announced it, so that's probably not even on this list right now. So we've got 92 now since this recent announcement, because we get the latest up-to-date news when we go on that good old X app. And we're looking at an article that's literally over 4 years old, saying what publicly traded companies have Bitcoin on their balance sheet and why. Look at that. I mean, we've got companies that have continued to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet for over 4 years, and we still don't have mass adoption on this. Look, what I think is going to change a lot of things, and we're going to see, basically, in my opinion, the amount of FOMO that we're going to see in the next 2 to 3 quarters is going to be absolutely insane. Now, let me tell you why, before you think that, hey, Brandon, you're absolutely nuts. This ruling on how companies report Bitcoin as their holdings is going to change everything, because we're going to see Strategy report positive earnings for the first time in 4 years. And that's not just going to be tiny amounts of earnings. They hold billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So those billions of dollars are going to show multiple billions of dollars in revenue and in profit that they have not shown before. They've been showing losses, but now they're going to show an absolute giant earnings call that's going to show millions, potentially billions in earnings. Look, I don't know the full filing regulations of Metaplanet, but they're going to potentially start to show the same thing. So we're going to see other companies like this Cash here. This company is now going to put 10% of its company there. And look what happens to this chart here. Basically straight up, the hockey stick. That's what we're going to see with all of these different companies, is they're showing this, and I'll make this chart as big as I can for you guys. I'll zoom in because my man Matthew Siegel has got the Bloomberg terminal. Unfortunately, I don't have that. But look at this thing. You honestly can't make this up. This hockey stick is massive, folks. And it's going to show that more of the attention of companies like this is going to make other companies want to hop on board. And I think that this is just going to be the start. Once strategy starts reporting positive earnings like this, it's going to go absolutely bonkers, and you're not going to be able to hold on to your seat fast enough here, folks. My man, Austin in the chat with a 20 euro super chat said, keep up the good work. Thank you so much, my friend. You are an awesome guy to always see in the chat. I absolutely love seeing it when you come on here. So thank you so much. You've missed a few, as you did say, but I do appreciate you coming back. I know I'm not exactly the easiest person to tie down here because me with my crazy glasses don't always do these at the same time, but I appreciate that. Down Under Blues, another regular in the chat, said, hey, I'd be cautious by buying the news. The M2 money supply is the key. I agree with you. I think as we see the M2 supply increase over time, that money will be dumped into Bitcoin. But what I do think is going to be interesting is more of this corporate cash that is sitting on the sidelines diving in here very, very soon, right? No, this is not pre-recorded. I've actually got a surprise for you guys who have come in the chat. Get your Lightning wallets ready because we are going to thank my friends at the Bitcoin Well because they're going to give you some free sats here. So if you're in the United States, unfortunately, it seems like Speed is the only wallet that works. You could go to, and that's a phone app. You can go to coinos.io and use a web mobile app as well. And if my man Ricardo is correct in the chat, this could potentially be some life-changing money for you because we could get the potential to win 1 million sats. For those of you who are watching this after the fact, make sure to try to join in, set the subscribe button, hit the bell notification on there so you know whenever I'm going live because I'm giving you guys free sats day in and day out. So let's see how many free sats I'm giving you today. All right, 2,100 sats. So go ahead and get your Lightning wallets out. Scan that as quick as possible. Try to get those sats scooped up for you guys. And thank my friends over at the Bitcoin Well. Now, they're a great partner of mine. So if you guys want to join the fun as well, go to the Bitcoin Well, just bitcoinwell.com/green candle, sign up. They will give you some wishing well tokens of your own so you guys can get free Bitcoin. And the crazy part about all of this is the psychopaths at Bitcoin Well will give you wishing well tokens every single time you buy Bitcoin, which means that every time you buy Bitcoin, they're giving you more Bitcoin. Absolutely crazy how that works. Also, if you're looking at this Bitcoin price sitting at just under 90K, you can go right here to this OTC tab and buy yourself 50K or more worth of Bitcoin, and they will make it as easy as possible for you. They also just set up DCA so you could DCA directly into cold storage. And I wouldn't partner with a company that I don't use myself. So I use them. I DCA into cold storage every single day. I highly encourage you guys to do the same and do it quickly because what we're seeing here is the amount of Michael Saylor and strategy copycats is at an all-time high. And I don't see that slowing down. I see it actually picking up here, right? We see all of these guys start to implement the strategy of putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Now, why would they do that? Why would these companies start to implement Bitcoin on the balance sheet? Well, it's easy, folks. It's a winning strategy. We see Saylor doing it. We see the potential of nation states doing it. And now a company in the 9th largest country by GDP is doing that. And it's the largest country in South America by GDP and by population for that matter. It's bigger than Canada. We got Trudeau complaining about us putting crazy tariffs on them. And we've got many other governments and companies looking to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So scoop it up while you can, because these cheap sats aren't going to be around for much longer. Hell, we might even see some crazy announcement tomorrow at this White House crypto summit. So I'm sure I will be bringing that news to you guys tomorrow or the next day. So be sure to tune in, hit that like button, smoke it like Cheech and Chong, as my man All Nighter Hider loves to say, and subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. And thank you guys all for coming out. And shout out to my man Austin for the super chat. No, this is not pre-recorded, so I appreciate you guys coming in. And the super chat, greatly appreciated. Maybe I'll go get myself a little bit of a haircut. I got the hair coming through here. So it's greatly appreciated, man. Thank you guys all for coming out.